So today
we're reviewing Weapons.
Weapons is a new mystery horror movie, in my opinion, that came out recently. I was definitely looking forward to this movie. You saw our pre-movie review a few days ago. Unfortunately, Brad and Kyle are on the opposite sides of the country right now, so they will not join us. But we are joined with our dad today. And start with Jake. Jake, what were your initial thoughts of the movie Weapons?
Going into this movie, I was really excited for this movie. The trailer was amazing. The initial trailer I saw was just showing you this kind of the basis of the story. This classroom, these kids go missing, and you want to know what happened. I did a good job of staying away from spoilers and not really watching too many trailers after the first one. I did see some of the stuff regarding the Wong character. I should know his actor's name, but Wong from the Doctor Strange universe. I knew that was going to happen, but other than that, I had no idea what was going to happen in this movie. And I had pretty high expectations for this one, and I wanted it to be scary and have a good storyline. And in my opinion, it did deliver on that front, and I had a really good time with this movie. There was maybe a couple things I wish could have been a little bit different, including the ending. But overall, I had a good time with this movie. I was laughing. There were some really scary sequences, and it was really well acted, in my opinion.
Dad, what were your initial thoughts, if we don't burn to death here?
I'm going to just say the word okay. I think it's okay. It was definitely up and down for me. Definitely had some higher points that would make it above okay. Definitely had some reaches for above average. But overall, it was, I guess, average at best for me. And but, decent little scary horror movie.
Yes, I was definitely interested in this movie. My initial thoughts, I think this movie was disturbing and hilarious at the same time, which is very difficult to do that, but this movie definitely has that for a lot of the movie. But honestly, I was very intrigued throughout this movie. I wasn't bored. I think there's some really cool aspects of this movie. A new direction they went in that I thought was very cool, and I had a good time during this movie. I was disturbed, laughing, and interested in, what's the word, really wanting to know what happens the rest of this movie. Captivated, yeah. Just intrigued in this movie. Now, we were really hot here with this fire. But, Jake, what were your positives first?
Positives for me were just the atmosphere. This movie did a great job, in my opinion, of just creating really freaky, messed up sequences. For instance, like just a door opening. There's a certain door to a house, the way that it opens on its own. Well, not on its own, but like the way that it looks like it's opening on its own was really creepy in this house. Really well done sequences where someone's walking towards a car. There were a couple jump scares that definitely got me and our whole group at the theater. One nightmare sequence, maybe two, that were really creepy. And as I said before, the acting was really well done from top to bottom. I think Josh Brolin did the best job, but there was a lot of really good actors in this movie. And just the whole storyline, in my opinion, was definitely interesting, and I think it did deliver in certain fronts. And it was pretty creepy, and it definitely kept me interested the entire time. The storytelling was really interesting the way they did it. They would jump from character to character, seeing their perspective in this overall story. And as I said before, it was done really well, in my opinion, as far as the scares go, the atmosphere, and basically just what you were there to see, which was kind of a messed up horror movie mystery. And I had a really good time with it. And like you said before, I was laughing at certain sequences. Brad was laughing a lot. And it got some major reactions, like a certain car situation. Actually, two car situations really got some reactions out of us.
Might not have supposed to been funny, but it was funny.
Yeah, that's true. There was one scene in particular that Brad laughed at that was definitely not supposed to be funny, but I laughed too.
Dad, what are your positives?
Positives? Again, I think for me personally, it started off, I didn't know where it was going, and then it definitely hit some good points like they're bringing up as far as, so I guess the positives are that it hit some good points to be scary and suspenseful and things like that.
Yeah, I thought this movie was scary. That's something with horror movies that it's not easy to do, but like Jake was saying, there was a creepy atmosphere to it. Even scenes where there weren't jump scares, which there weren't cheap jump scares, which is a positive. It was just overall creepy. I was squinting through a lot of this movie. The way doors opened, the way the camera was panned, and a big positive is it was scary. Another positive is that there's a really unique way they tell this story through the names of characters, and you see the different angles, the different points of view from the characters. I thought it was done so well. It was set up so good for this movie, and it was like every name, you're like, oh gosh, what's gonna happen here? And I loved that aspect of the movie. It was scary. You have really good acting from the main actors in this. The main actress and actor were really good, and it was scary and unpredictable, I think, and that's the main positive. Why don't we go into the negatives?
There's not many negatives for me. I mean, the big negative for me maybe might be the execution of the ending. The ending itself, there was one part to it that I thought was pretty funny, that made me laugh, but then there's parts to it that maybe could have gone a different direction, that I probably would have enjoyed it more and could potentially push this thing to a higher score. So kind of mixed feelings on the very ending of the movie. And also the very beginning, the little girl that's kind of narrating the story was very, maybe it's the audio of our theater, but it was very quiet.
So quiet.
And she needed to speak up, or something needed to be different with the audio.
That was just the whole movie, though.
But
Just quiet.
it was really just there. That really, I was like sitting there like, okay, this is gonna be a problem because I can barely hear what she's saying, and we're just getting started here. So that was one that popped in my mind, and also just the very end of the movie. Would have maybe liked to see a different ending to it. I did like what happened, but the way it was executed could have been done better, even if it did make me laugh. So that's probably my biggest complaint. Also, I always complain about the lore in these movies sometimes. I would like to have seen a little more backstory of the motivations and the goals of certain characters, in particular the villain of the movie. Because I don't think I got enough, in my opinion. But some of these movies, they just weren't meant to explore that. But I would have liked to have seen that. But yeah, the ending and the audio of the girl at the beginning were my biggest negatives of this movie.
For sure the ending. But other than that, just a few misplaced, unneeded lines and a scene for this movie, in my opinion. But the ending, for sure, left me in a different place. It wasn't as good.
So, my negatives are, I'd say the ending, because it gets a little ridiculous with the scene. And I'm not going to spoil it, but if you've seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. It gets a little just campy and ridiculous. And it was funny, but the way this whole movie's set up, I feel like it kind of ruins it in a way, partially. Another negative is there are some character lines and decisions by our main character in particular, that one line that just, I don't understand if it was meant to be funny, if it was meant to be, like, something serious. It was just a very random line that didn't need to be in there. And it was just, the character decisions just are questionable at times. But I don't have a whole lot of negatives, because this movie was just, other than maybe the villain being very predictable, I think they could have hid that a little more. That's really my only negative. I don't have too many negatives. But why don't we go to final thoughts and score?
Yeah, again, final thoughts and score. This movie, I went into it with pretty high expectations, and to me, it delivered on what I was wanting for the most part. It was really creepy, great atmosphere, a good storyline that had me guessing throughout. Once something happens, if you're a moviegoer, if you've seen a lot of horror movies, you probably would know right away what's going on. It took me a little bit, but like once I saw a certain character, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely what's going on. But then,
I had no idea.
Well, I knew that someone was very suspicious, and I figured this is too obvious. But again, like,
You knew who, just not what.
yeah, I didn't really know yet, right? So that's how I put that. And there was also some really great form tackles, one by Josh Brolin taking someone out, and also at the very end, a little girl makes a great cut to in front
Yeah,
of someone.
spoil the movie.
But that's not cutting. That's not spoiling anything. But those are pretty good parts. And again, some really creepy scenes. I mean, like I said, that one sequence where Josh Brolin has a nightmare. That was one of the creepiest scenes in the movie. When a face changes, and also
Good jump scare.
a couple chase sequences where a car is involved. That was really well done and
Yeah.
got a major reaction out of me. And I don't usually react to movie theaters like vocally like I did in that scene. So that's credit to the movie. And again, great acting from top to bottom. And the main child actor of the movie did a great job as well. He had a big role in this movie, and
Yeah.
the way he played the character could have really derailed this movie. And he did a good job of it, where you just felt horrible for this kid, and he did a great job. So overall, had a fun time with this movie. Would have liked a different ending and a little more explanation of the lore, but I'm going to end up going with a solid 8 out of 10 for this movie. It's above average to me, and I would honestly go see it again with someone that hadn't seen it yet. And again, I had high expectations, so the fact that it came close to it and went a little over it was good news to me. So I'm going to go with 8 out of 10. Could have been a 9 if the ending was different, but I'm going to end up with an 8 out of 10.
Dad, what's your score?
Score 6 out of 10. I thought it was going to be a 5, so I'm going to go with a 6.
Oh,
The ending just really hurt it so bad that it took away what
Give
was
it
a
the extra
decent
point.
movie. I think when I thought back on it, like Kenny had said, it had a different approach with how they did the movie, which I think worked. And maybe they went a little too long with it, but overall it worked. I thought it was suspenseful. It had me dialed in. Thought it was a good horror movie. I think it's a tricky thing to mix comedy and horror together. And the ending, as you'll find out, in my opinion, it just really threw it off and dropped it at least 2 points on score. One more thing.
yeah.
Josh Brolin's one of my favorite actors, and I thought he did a good job.
So, my score is going to be similar to Jake. I really did think this was a cool movie. Like, the way they filmed this was so unique. I'd never seen that before. The way they tell the different points of view, it just kept me thinking, okay, I want to see, you keep getting more explained, you get the different point of view, you always want to see the next point of view. And the way they tie it in with all the characters was really well done. And the way they lead it up to the last character they reveal, I don't know if that's a spoiler, but the way they save one character for last is just like, you know something's messed up is going to happen. And the way they did that, I thought was just a really cool way to reveal it. It was scary, it was creepy, it was funny at the same time. But I do have some issues, some character decisions in the ending. So I'm going to go with an 8 out of 10 as well. I think it's a solid movie. I would watch it again and had some great things to it. But I'd give it an 8 out of 10, definitely above average, and would recommend it to any horror fans out there.
That was our non-spoiler review of Weapons. Let us know in the comments if you saw this movie, what you think of it, and what score you would give it out of 10. And do you think the ending was too much, or did you actually enjoy the ending? But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.
Are you watching?